Joining us now, NBC News correspondent Shaquille Brewster, live from Chicago, where several of those Texas lawmakers are now, and former San Antonio mayor and former Secretary of Housing and Urban Development under President Obama, Julian Castro. Shaq, these lawmakers are facing some big threats from Governor Abbott with losing their seats, felony charges. How concerned are these Democrats about those possible repercussions?
Well, Anna, both last night and even in that conversation that you had in the last hour, the Democrats have been somewhat candid about saying that they are concerned about the repercussions of the actions that they have decided to take. But there's kind of two different messaging tracks that you're hearing. On one end, they're saying they don't think that the governor could really act on everything that he's threatening of them. You heard a lawmaker from Texas who is fleeing to New York say that it's just kind of he's making stuff up, in the words of that one lawmaker. But you also have them saying, essentially, it's worth the risk. They're trying to nationalize their actions. They're trying to put more attention on what Texas is doing, what the legislature is trying to move through, and they're trying to get support from all over the country as they engage in this fight. I want you to listen to some of the comments we heard from the party chair last night as soon as they landed in Chicago.
We're not here to play political games. We're here to demand an end to this corrupt process.
Yeah, absolutely.
We ask them to stop hiding things from the public. We ask them to stop doing things behind closed doors. We ask them to stop attacking Texas communities.
A message that you heard later from both he and J.B. Pritzker, the Illinois governor who is standing right behind him, is that this is about President Trump. They believe that this is a power grab that's initiated by the president. And they're saying that, look, this is not just about Texas, but this is about control of Congress come the midterm elections. If the Texas legislature is able to change these maps, that could win them, Republicans, 5 more seats in Congress, Hannah.
Shaq Brewster in Chicago for us. Thank you. Secretary Castro, what's your reaction to Governor Abbott's threats? What would it look like if Abbott actually tried to take action against these lawmakers?
You know, Abbott has gone, you saw there that clip on Fox News. I mean, huffing and puffing, that's more animated than you'll usually see Greg Abbott. But he's gone into this kind of full-on Trump-like authoritarian mode, threatening to remove these legislators. And also, in addition to that, Anna, also threatening to charge people who give campaign contributions to them. These are ordinary citizens who make campaign contributions, threatening in his statement last night to charge them with bribery. So this is insane. It's well beyond anything that Governor Abbott, or I dare say another governor, has done in situations like this. And we have to remember that this is a familiar move for Texans. Democrats left the state in 1979. They left the state in 2003 when, at the behest of Tom DeLay back then, they tried to do mid-district redistricting. They also left just 4 years ago in 2021. They went to Washington, D.C. So what I think this does is this buys some time. Who knows how it'll play out, but it ends up buying time. I seriously doubt if Greg Abbott's threats are going to come to fruition.
There has been some criticism that because these Democrats are leaving the session, it stops the passing of other needed legislation like that disaster relief following the historic flooding there in Texas. What do you make of that argument? Could these Democrats face backlash from their voters, do you think?
Well, you know, I think potentially politically that's more of the danger here. And it was very telling, Anna, because I expected the first statement out of Greg Abbott's mouth to be, hey, you guys need to come back. We need to make these improvements for flood safety for Kerr County. Remember that a month ago, we're on August 4th, a month ago on July 4th, began the Kerr County floods, and more than 100 people died, including 36 children in those floods. They called this special session, the governor did in Texas, saying that they were going to do something to keep the people of Kerr County and other places safe. They didn't put that on the agenda first. Instead, they put this redistricting effort at the request of Donald Trump. So it was telling today that he didn't say that. He didn't say we need to get this done for flood safety. Instead, it's still all about this redistricting effort. That should tell the people of Texas where his priorities really are.
Redistricting or not, Democrats are already facing an uphill battle because of the Republican majority there in Texas. Aren't these lawmakers maybe delaying the inevitable with this move? Is there anything that could actually stop it from happening?
You know, if history is any guide, I think what it does is it does delay. In each of the times before, eventually this redistricting has been accomplished. They need 101 people there, is my understanding, to have quorum. And right now, since Democrats have 62 seats and about 55 people are actually out of the state as of last night, there are more than enough Democrats to delay this. The other thing at play here is it is very nationalized, as Shaquille said. And so this could have the effect of putting California, which had seemed to be on a full steam ahead path to redistricting themselves in response to Texas, this could put that in a wait and see approach over there. We'll have to see what happens.
All right, Julian Castro, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate your time and your perspective.